Do feel at home. This is a language excursion, choral safari. So we're going to listen to some music, but also learn some Xhosa words. Do not be surprised when I ask you to join along. To sing along in some of the songs. If you happen to catch a few words here and there. Okay, so. I grew up here. These are some of my achievements, trophies from Choral I stayed with. Over the years, I've accumulated quite a lot of them. But when I got married 2 years ago, I married someone who's not a singer. And so she said, yeah, the trophies are lovely, but I've got different ideas. And then as you can see around you, these are the different ideas. Otherwise, this whole space was filled with trophies. So I had to give some of them to my aunt, Sheila, who lives just 10 minutes away, and some to my father, and some to my other aunt. This is me distributing trophies. And the funny part is next week we've got another competition, and I think there's no prize for guessing that those trophies are not going to be here. Because there's simply no space. There's simply no space for them. So she loves them, but
far away.
Yeah, not here. All right. So that's my story. Unfortunately, you're not going to meet her. She's at work. But she did say that I must convey her greetings. And then if you just look there, those are my late grandparents, Ruben and Jessica. Ruben and Jessica, their Xhosa names are Lungile and Ntombi Zodwa. Ntombi Zodwa means only girls. So it was just her and her two sisters. There were no boys.
So was she the last one?
Sorry?
Was she the last
She
one?
was the last one, yes. She was the last one. That's how they knew.
Yeah.
That they are no more. Yeah. So they are the original owners of the house. I grew up here. My whole life has been here. And by that I mean when I wanted to buy my own house, when they were, getting older and older, they said, when we depart, you must stay here. And I said, no, I want to go and get my own space. No, that's not how it works, young man. Your father got married and he went to get his own house. So that leaves you. So whenever you decide to get married, you bring your wife here. You're not going to go out there. It was a debate I couldn't win. And that is why the trophies are here. All right, so let me welcome you by singing two items. The first one will be our very own national anthem. Composed of 5 languages. The first one is Xhosa, Zulu, then it navigates to Sotho, then Afrikaans, and then finally in English. I do hope that you enjoy. You are more than welcome to take videos, pictures, just feel free. All right. Ngosi sikeleli Afrika, malupagani supondolwayo, izwa imithandazo yethu. Ngosi sikelela thina lusapho lwayo, Murena buluka sitshaba sa heso, o fedise dintwali matshwenyeho, o sibuluke sitshaba sa heso, sitshaba sa South Africa. South Africa, et die Blau van onze Himmel, et die Diepte van ons Zee, oor ons ewige gebergtes, waar die kranse antwoord gee. Sounds the call to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom
in South Africa, our land.
Thank you very much. That was just to welcome you. And then Ian can probably sing the next song. It's our cultural song. It's a welcoming song. So in our language there are a lot. Well, in this Xhosa, in the Xhosa clan, there are a lot of different clan groups, right? It's just a great sense of belonging. So you would have the Abatembu, that's the clan name for our late president Madiba, right? He was Umtembu. I am Khatebe, right? So Khatebe is very easy to pronounce, right? It's just the back of the tongue, really. So it's almost like when you've got an irritation in your mouth, and you're like, you know, right, there we go. And then if you can make that sound, right, you can practically say my clan name. So can we try it? Khatebe. That's me. Thank you so much. Lovely. All right. And it is believed that when you call a person by their name, we regard that as an official sort of engagement, right? When you call them by surname, that is extremely formal. But when you call them by their clan name, that's very personal, right? It's in the sense that it hits their soft spots. So if you have offended me, right? Or I have done something great for you, right? You would say, oh, Khatebe, thank you so much, right? Because it's an expression of immense joy, right? So you take it to that extra level of personality. But also when Khatebe has been wronged, right? And then one seeks to apologize, oh, Khatebe, you know, I am really sorry, I did not mean to. And then when I hear Khatebe, you know, it really softens me. No matter how much offense I had taken, but if you refer to me as Khatebe, you know, I know that the late president, when they call him Madiba, you know, his surroundings, is when they wanted to manipulate him, like if they're trying to get him to sign a document, hey Madiba, hey, you know, this is for the good, and then he will look at them and say, I know that you refer to me as Madiba because you want to soften me, but I will let it slide for now, right? So basically, Khatebe is that kind of really, really personal touch to one's identity. And of course, we've got a lot of them, Bele, Dlamini. Now that brings us to the song that I'm going to sing. Dlamini has come to visit us. So basically, you are my Dlaminis for the day, because Dlamini refers to, or in this context, Dlamini is a guest, right? And so what we're trying to say to Dlamini is to feel free, take off your jacket. And by the way, I must mention that in Xhosa, people would normally come in, right? This is just Xhosa, right? Very weird, trust me. They come in and they remain standing with their hats on. They will only take their hats off once you say, oh, you may take off your hats, gentlemen. And then they take them off. And then they wait for you to give the next instruction. Oh, you may sit, gentlemen. Then they sit. If you forget to do that, you might find them standing there for a good 10 minutes or so, right? So what we're simply saying to Dlamini in this song is, Dlamini, welcome. Take off your jacket and feel free. This is your home. All right? Do enjoy. If you hear or catch a few words, please join in because it's quite repetitive, right? Dlamini. Can you say Dlamini? Dlamini. There we go. Kulula. Kulula means remove your jacket in this context, right? And then kushushu. Kushushu. There we go. Kushushu means it's hot. So Dlamini, it's hot after all. Take off your jacket, loosen up, feel free, buddy. This is your home. That's the context. Okay, so please do enjoy. Oh, by the way, this is what we do for kushushu, right? Okay, so if you hear the word kushushu, can I see you do this, right? Just to be sure that you recognize that word, okay? And then when we hear the word kulula, right? Can I see a gesture of someone who's taking off a jacket, all right? Do we have a deal?
Yeah.
There we go. Dlamini kulula lobati kushushu Dlamini kulula Dlamini kulula Dlamini kulula lopati kushushu. Dlamini kulula. Dlamini kulula. La 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 kushushu. La 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 la. Dlamini kulula. La 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 kushushu. La 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 la. Dlamini kulula. So before we go further, please, I'd be delighted if you would indulge. This is, your good old Coke, as Tyler Perry would say, as my dear. And then I've got some water that I've put in the jars for you. Yeah, do enjoy. Do enjoy. All right. So, where do we begin this journey? Personally, I can talk until next year about music, because I was brought up in a family of music. Those two were, they were musicians. The one was a tenor, although I don't think he knew that he was a tenor really. He just sang, I myself, to be honest, didn't quite know what he was singing, whether he was bass but it's only after I studied music that I began to recall that, oh, actually, my grandfather was a tenor, right? And then my late grandma was a soprano in her younger days, and then in her older days, she then sang tenor. And so at church, she would make me sit right next to her, and then I didn't know what voice part we were singing, but I would just literally sing everything that she's singing. And so in the Anglican church, they've got sheet music, right? She didn't really bother herself with that. She just followed her heart. And so I followed her heart as well, okay? It's not like I really had a heart to follow at that age. So I followed her heart. And then after studying music and really equipping myself with a little bit of knowledge, I then began to realize, hey, grandma, okay, we were doing something very different with this particular hymn. What was your arrangement? What were your plans? So, but what the beauty that came out of that was that the Monde that I've now become is, in my view, a result of her attempts to get me used to that kind of space. The funny part was I didn't want to sing at school at all. I just wanted to sing next to her, because she was my place. I mean, she was my comfort zone. She was my happy spot, happy space. So the song that I'm about to sing now is a religious song called Tamako. It's just a song of confession, and a song that wishes to become, or a song rather that carries a message of one who wishes to become a better person. That's simply it. Okay, Tamako. Tamako starts with the click. Tamako. There we go. Tamako. You guys are excellent. Actually, I must just put it out there. Okay. Tamako nkosi yam dicela uxolo ngala macala am endiwenzileyo dicela wena nkosi dolulele isandla sakho sokunene undilungise. Amafu nkosi yam dicela uxolo ngala matyala am endiwenzileyo dicela wena nkosi dolulele isandla sakho sokunene undilungise.
Wow.
Thank you very much. So So that's the one part of my journey. And then obviously this is not about just Monde as an individual, but it's about the role of music in our day-to-day lives. If you come to a place like Guguletu on a normal day, and by that I mean on a Saturday, when people are not at work, they are just here. You know, the place is filled with people. You're more than likely to find a house where there is a ritual of some sort, whether a young man has been sent to the mountain, or he has just returned, or someone just wants to honor their late grandfather by having a small gathering in memory of that particular person who is no more. The one common denominator in all of these events is singing and chanting, right? So they will chant a variety of songs, some of them with meaning, some of them with less meaning, but the one thing is that they all feel entertained. And there is always the presence of certain beverages, which are not necessarily in this category, but the other one.
Traditional.
The other one, yes. And the absence of those beverages will declare that the ceremony is not successful, because the people will not indulge happily so, but they will only do so because we've invited them. But you are not going to see them smiling throughout the course of the day, because that encouragement that really gets them there is absent. Yeah, it's absent. So, but music is a very integral part of that. So one of the songs that I'm going to sing you now, in a context where a young man has just returned or is on his way from what we call the initiation schools, is Vula Masango. Vula Masango means open the doors, open the gates. And if you listen to those words, they tell you exactly where the story is going. Open the gates, for we are bringing back your son, right? Open the gates, for we are bringing back your son. All right, and it goes a little like this. Oh, sangena zovula masango, iyo sangen zovula masango. So this is how it works, right? Can the rest of the community, and yeah, to be clear, that's us, ne? Can we say vula masango, right? Yes, because musically, ne, the features of this song, you've got a call, and then there's a response. So the one voice sings the call. Oh, yo, sangen. The community says, "Uzovula masang." Then that's it. It doesn't change, right? At all. Okay? Let's try it. Oh, yo, sangen. Uzovula masang. Oh, yo, sangen. Uzovula masang. Oh, yo, sangen. Uzovula masang. Oh, yo, sangen. Uzovula vula masango sange uzovula vula masango sange uzovula oyo sange uzovula oyo sange uzovula masango. Right, okay, obviously it sounds a little more animated than that when it's actually happening, and there are a few reasons for that. One, the motivation that we discussed earlier, but also the immense joy of seeing the young men coming back after such a long time, all right? So you will see them, I do have a stick somewhere, right? So there'll be two men, right? One is holding the one end of the stick, okay? And in between his hands, the other one is holding it this way. And they're literally going to jump, right? In opposite directions. So the one will jump this way, right? And the other one will jump that way, so that they do not collide, right? I really don't want to get into this conversation because sometimes they do collide and then it's a mess. Because you can imagine, there's a lot of energy and a lot of exuberance. Oh, yo, sange, mzovula, boom! All right? And then both of us are down. And guess what? No one is bothered because, you know, they don't even feel the pain, right? But tomorrow, when you know, when the fluids have expired in the system, then we're going to see you coming here, ne? And showing us all bruises, and we have no clue what happened to you, buddy. Yeah, but yeah, God bless you. All right. So shall we go back to the song again? All right. This time I'm going to add the choreography. All right. Okay. Woyo sangen uzovulama. Woyo sangen uzovulama. Woyo sangen uzovulama. Woyo sangen uzovulama. Vulama sango sangen uzovulama. Vulama sango sangen uzovulama. Let's clap. Woyo sangen uzovulama. Woyo sangen uzovulama. Woyo sangen uzovulama sango. Yeah, there we go. Alright. So you'd get that kind of song in that kind of setup, right? Then of course we've got weddings, right? And this is well, before I got married, I used to enjoy telling this story, and then things changed a bit when I had to experience it myself, because telling a story and being in the story yourself are two very different things. So I used to go on and on. Ian knows this, right? I used to go on and on about lobola, and the one family going to the other, and the negotiations, blah blah blah. Ha! And then 2023 came. Then I was the one loboling. I was the one loboling. And the job of the uncles is the easiest job. All they do is they put on their suits and then they say, young man, that day has arrived. We are going there. We're going to show them. Yeah, but we're going to show them with whose money? You are going to show them. Huh? And they're going to show them with your money. Ne? And then, so it's me and my friend from across the road, and then another Khatebe, ne? Yeah, your uncle. You might not know him, but he knows you. That's the important thing. He's very good with negotiations. So we are going to buy 2 bottles. Oh no, just 2 bottles. No, not that's fine. No, the 2 bottles are for us. And then we need another 5 or 6 for the negotiations. And sometimes they will say another 2 just to enter the gate. So you're talking of 8. Right, and this is just round 1 of the negotiations. They're going to go back later, before the date of the wedding is even discussed. We're on phase 1, so you are already having headaches, palpitations, all kinds of things. You are sweating just at the preliminary phase, right? So they were telling me that you're gonna, this is doable, just a couple of grands. And I'm like, let's define a couple of grands. We don't want to know what the answer was. I still don't like to think about it, even today. All right. So that part is called the lobola phase, right? And then with luck, everything. I'm just now trying to skip to the best part, right? So the lobola has been done with all the bottles times the number of visits. And when you go there, there's something that they call ulwamkelo labayeni, which means the welcoming of the groom, right? This is even before the wedding. Now it sounds nice when you think about it, the welcoming of the groom. Now you're thinking that you're going to experience all this hospitality from the family of the bride. Do not be mistaken. Do not allow the word welcoming mislead you, because when you are there, the brother-in-laws, they're looking at you like this, and they're saying to each other, no, this guy must pay. No, because that money that's for the lobola, it didn't come to us. It went to the elders. So now we are the ones that were growing up with his wife to be. So he must give us a little something. Then one of them will come and say, hey, Spar, that means brother-in-law. Hey, Spar, we're thirsty, man. And it's only 1,500 for 2 bottles of this and that and a couple of ciders. Yeah, and then he leaves. He's not going to say we are required. No, he's just going to say we are thirsty, and then he's going to leave. So you need to just read between the lines, no questions asked. Bring out your wallet, and you give 1,500. That's the welcoming that I'm talking about, right? And this is just the brothers. Ne? You still have the others, the aunties and the...
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All of them have problems. All of them have problems. When you don't ask, what? You just solve the problem. And then your life will be great, right? Then finally, after all of that, we come to the big day, the wedding, okay? So we've got 2 days. We've got what they call the white wedding, where, you know, the bride will be in her beautiful gown, lovely, okay? And there's all kinds of dinner, dessert, you name them. Then comes day 2, chaos, because now she comes to our family, right? And this whole neighborhood, right? They are chanting their own thing. And then her family have now brought their own neighborhood, and then the two are going to collide in song. They are singing 2 different songs, right? So the other one can easily call the other one. So we are here, this family of monkeys, and we hope that they are going to take care of our daughter, right? But because everyone is singing happily, right? No one is paying attention to the words. Family of monkeys, is that supposed to be us? What is going on here? You know? And then the other family are also singing some very, very unorthodox nonsense. But all of it is meant in good spirit. All of it is done in good spirit because we are simply teasing each other as the 2 families are now officially becoming one because of the newlyweds. So here's the song that both families ended up singing to each other, right? Zenimphathe kakuhle usisi wethu, zenimphathe kakuhle usisi wethu, azanga hambelala, azanga dlakazeli, azanga hambelala, azanga dlakazeli, zenimphathe kakuhle usisi wethu, zenimphathe kakuhle usisi wethu, azanga hambelala, azanga dlakazeli, azanga hambelala, azanga dlakazeli. So that's the family of the bride. Usisi means our sister, right? And what it simply means is take care of our daughter, take care of our sister. Some are saying Sisi, but they really mean aunt, because I'm an uncle, I'm a brother, I'm a this, I'm a that to my family, right? So my side of the family will be using the same song, but instead of Sisi, they will say Bhuti. So zenimphathe kakuhle ubhuti wethu, zenimphathe kakuhle ubhuti wethu, azanga hambelala, azanga dlakazeli, azanga hambelala, azanga dlakazeli. And one of the most important, but yet also very interesting things about South African traditional music is that it will confuse you in terms of how you receive that which you hear and see, because sometimes the text can have a very serious meaning. Because if I say to you, I'm presenting my daughter and I would wish that you take good care of her, I mean, that's not a very light-hearted statement. It's quite a serious one, and it's a very sentimental. This is my daughter, you know, and I might not have others. It's just this one. So I'm presenting her to you, and I want you to take good care of her. I can assure you now, I've got 2 daughters, and when I give them off to their husbands, I will not be smiling when I say those words. Son, this is my princess. You better take good care of her, right? But in this song, zenimphathe kakuhle, and that's really the common thing about our music, because even in the struggle, when young people were protesting against policies and laws and all kinds of oppression, you would see them And I mean, I was not around. It was before my time. But I'm just trying to put myself in the position of that journalist. He's probably there with his camera, wondering what is going on. Because the brief that I got from Italy was serious. Things are bad here. Look at this bunch of kids there. And then the next thing we hear them come to, you know, and you yourself are, okay, is this part of the play? You know, so one has to dig a little deeper in order to get the true essence of what is being said, right? It's not like your traditional choral music, and I know it all too well because I'm a practitioner, but you've got your formal choral music where it becomes very clear what we're singing about. You know, if we're singing about a delightful song, hey, 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 smiling moon, everyone is standing still looking at the choir master, you know, you're mimicking everything that he's doing with his face so that the audience can get a good sense of where it's going. That's very clear to read, right? Or when you're singing a mournful song, you know, the facial expression says it all. So everything is in line with the text. But you come to South Africa, you come to the townships, you get a very confusing scenario. There's another song that people like to sing, it's a song where women are now demanding, because when there's a ritual, right? When there's a ritual, there'll be a fair amount of distribution of the different not genres, categories, of beverages, ne? And then later on, there's something called inqotha. Inqotha is that final round of distributions where you are now saying to the people, after I give this round, I'll come back after an hour. I'm not expecting to see people unless you are just sitting here to keep us company. But this is the final one, right? So that alcohol will be distributed, and then 2 hours later, you will hear the women now. After they were told that this is the final one, then they will sing, Amabele boo, amabele boo, amabele boo, amabele boo. And then in my language, right, it literally means now the mother, the lady of the house is now giving it all. She's saying, this is now the very, very, very last one. And I'm thinking, but when she said that 2 hours ago, that this is the last one, did you not understand that last means last? Why are you still saying she must, after that last, there's a couple more now. Bring more last. All right. Enough talking. Are there any questions on your end? We're still on the journey, but are there any questions, comments? Are we still together? Are we still good?
Yes.
All right. I'd like to take you now to a very different world, right? There's a musical that I love very much, and it's called The Sound of Music. There are 2 songs that I particularly love there, right? I will try and sing the other one, because not so long ago I kind of lost my voice to a flu battle, but long after the flu is gone, I'm still sort of getting there, but I'll try to do the other one, okay? The second song is fairly easy, it's comfortable. So the one is Edelweiss, and then the other one is Climb Every Mountain. That's the one where I'd like you to have a little bit of mercy on my voice, all right? I'll start with the one I am least comfortable with, Climb Every Mountain. It is my favorite song because of the message that it carries. If you know the storyline very well, you'll know that it's not for a male voice. It really is a soprano, but I just fell in love with it because of the beauty of the words. So let's see if we succeed. Okay. Climb every mountain, ford every
every stream, follow every byway, every path you know. Climb every mountain, search high and low, follow every rainbow, till you find your dream, a dream that will need all the love you can give. Every day of your life, for as long as you live, climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow, till you find your dream. A dream that will need all the love you can give. Every day of your life, for as long as you live, climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow, till you find your dream.
All right. That literally felt like flirting with the lions, because when I was navigating to the high notes, I could hear that, yeah, careful, young man. Careful. Right. But yeah, thank you very much. The other one is Edelweiss. You can sing it with me if you know the song, right? So, Edelweiss, Edelweiss, every morning you greet me, small and white, clean and bright. You look happy to meet me. Blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever. Blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever. Thank you so much. Back to South Africa. All right, two songs that I'd like to share. We can sing the first one together. In fact, we can sing both together. Who knows? We'll see. Can we all say Senzeni na? Senzeni na. This was the struggle song, right? This was the struggle song. Recently, I learned another one, Ian, called "We Shall Overcome," and it was a beautiful, beautiful song. But Senzeni na was the struggle song that meant, what have we done, right? Remember, the people that were, resisting and protesting against the policies of the past were in their own right not fully equipped, to fight in arms, right? They relied on stones mostly, and then whatever they had at their disposal, but one boom, and then the whole thing ends, right? So they only had numbers, and they only had each other. So this question, Senzenina, that they would ask that question when they felt really, really defeated. But guess what? They would rise the next day and continue, So you would often hear the word Senzenina, 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 because the question was an everyday question. And if someone is either arrested or killed here, then rest assured, next week is going to be around the corner. So it was a thing for everybody. It was a question that was commonly asked by everybody. I once got asked when I studied at the University of Cape Town by a classmate who was doing African music. Because I was classically trained, right? By an opera singer. So hence, Edelweiss, right? And then this is me singing. Sensenina. And in my mind, I am on point. You know, you don't ask me anything. Like I'm trained by the best. This guy is from New York. You know, come on now, don't mess with me. You know, Sensenina. There were a couple of problems with that one. I didn't really pay much attention to the first issue that people were raising. Okay, because you see, I was in a multiracial choir, right? Lots of white folks, you know, beautiful sound, right? So some of my friends who were kind of still thinking like quietly would ask, "Why are you singing this song with these folks?" You know, and I'm like, why not? Because Senzenina, in my view, is not an apartheid question. You know, it's not a struggle question, but it's a question that you can ask even in the midst of gender-based violence. You can ask that song, you know, the human trafficking. I find that the question Senzenina is still applicable. Do you understand? Because that song, when you sing it and you go through the words, it doesn't say anything about laws. It doesn't say anything about apartheid. It just says, what have you done, right? So anyone really, anywhere in the world, can sing that song, yeah? So that was my response. Problem solved. Now here was a question I couldn't answer in that debate, because you see, we had a lot of debates when we were studying at UCT. Then they asked me this question. So why the operatic voice? I'm like, what's wrong with my voice? You know, what's wrong with my voice? Because I knew I did, you know. What's wrong with my voice? It's like, this song was a struggle song. It affected everyone. Everyone in the community had to feel part of, you know, the struggle. So why are you making it sound exclusive? It was like, ish. That was a very, very valid question if you think musically, right? But also musicologically. And then I said, okay, I didn't respond to that one because I didn't like defeat in a debate. But later that day, I went to, there's a place that we call the A level at the College of Music, right? Where all the students it's got more than 50 rooms, right? So you pick one, don't even have to book it, right? You just go there, you're likely to find a room. You get yourself in there, you practice your heart out, you know, and no one is going to tell you it's past 12 a.m., you must leave. You can be there until 7 a.m. the following day if you want. There I was. Senzenina, because I'm trying to practice this authentic voice because I don't have it, right? I've got this Senzenina. That's the training I'm getting. I spent hours and hours, you know, and I would cough in the process because my system is not used to this. So say, you know. But I told myself that I want to explore this natural sound. Then come the next concert, I will sing using that sound. Even my conductor was shocked when I sang Senzenina in that voice, right? I'll let you be the judge. I will do both, and then you tell me which one lands home, right? Let's see.
Senzenina, 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 Senzenina.
You know, as they would stand with that posture, the classical singers, right? And then, Senzenina, Senzenina, oh, Senzenina, Senzenina, Senzenina. Debate class. Talk to me.
There's more feeling, more emotion.
I think the emotion is past, you know. So those were eventually my sentiments as well. But on that day, I was, you know,
Defeated.
Understandably. So the more I sang Senzeni now with that natural sound, the more I could connect to it. The more I could sort of, you know, understand the deeper meaning of what it must have meant, you know, to be in that kind of struggle. But yet you have this hope that you shall overcome, you know. We shall overcome goes a little like this. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I know that I do believe that we shall overcome someday. And then the verse will change, right? We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid at all. Oh, deep in my heart, I know that I do believe that we shall overcome someday.
And on that note, we need to
Come back.
Really?
leave. Yeah.
Are you serious?
We have been overcome.
We just got started. All right. I did say that I can go on until next Sunday, but maybe as a way of bidding you farewell, I can sing. You know, I still thought I was gonna sing another few, but I am pleased that you know, you've spent the afternoon with me. Normally I would say us, because especially in the evening my wife will be around, but thank you so much. I will convey a message that we had a great journey together. We toured a little bit. So thank you so much. Yeah, what do you think I should sing, Ian? Anything?
There's only one song for me, you know. Cool it.
Okay, all right. Cool, okay. All right. Can you say? Ah, these guys! Wow. All right. I thought it would be a massive struggle. Kula, that's it. Okay, so can you say kula? Kula means like buckle up, you know, stand firm. Kula kutini, because it's a song that you know, they do in a stick fight, right? It's also in the context of, you remember the right? But this time they are not holding the stick together. Each one is holding his own pair of sticks, you know, and then the other one is doing the same thing, and then they're going to have a stick fight, the two of them. It's also in the spirit of joy, right? Although later on there will be some little bit of blood, just a little bit, and also that blood supposedly is part of the joy, you know. Yeah, I still don't understand the logic behind it, but anyway, Kula Kwedini is that song. If you happen to catch it, go with me, right? Kula Kwedini, Kula Kwedini kabao Kula Kwedini, Kula Kwedini kabao nazo Kwedini, nazo Kwedini kabao Kula Kwedini, Kula Kwedini kabao Kula Kwedini, Kula Kwedini kabao nazo Kwedini, naso kwetini kaba kula kwetini kaba kula kwetini kaba. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us in your home.
Right. So in isiXhosa we say enkosi. That means thank you. And then I will say you are welcome. Namkelekele. Yeah. So that's me saying namkelekele. Thank you very
And
much.
please tell me again, your clan is called?
Khatebe.
Khatebe.
D-O-T. Debe. Tebe or Debe?
Khatebe. D. So it's D.
Khatebe.
Khatebe. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please do enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
Oh,